It's helpful to have an understanding of how WebDriver works or how it works at a lower level. It's easy enough to start writing some tests and think, great, I'm automating the browser. But there's a bit more to it, and we'll take a look at what's happening under the hood. We have what are called bindings that are basically the different programming languages that we can use to automate tests with WebDriver. Each of these bindings will use the same WebDriver API to drive your tests. For example, you have a method called findElements in the API. Now all of the bindings can use this method and it will behave in the same way for each of those languages. The WebDriver API will then interact with the specific driver for the particular browser that you're automating. So there's one for Firefox, which comes by default with WebDriver, one for Chrome and IE. You have to install these drivers yourself, which we'll show you how to do later on in the course. So now through the API we are sending messages to these drivers over what's known as the wire protocol, which in essence is simply a web service that provides a way for our code to send messages to the driver. The driver is an executable that is running on our machine that just sits there and listens for these messages to come in, and when they do, it acts upon them by automating the browser for us and then returns any messages back to the original binder. One of the effects of this is that we're limited in what we can automate with a particular browser because of what's available to us from the API of that browser. So when you're running your tests, those tests are basically going through this sequence of events for every command your tests execute. So you're not really working on the browser directly, there is this hidden middle layer between the code you write and how it ends up working on the browser.